last year's host city for the World Gymnastics Championship that will also host the World Athletics Championships next year, as well as the FIFA World Cup in 2022. So in the middle of a stretch of premier international events in Doha. And now here is the start list for the women's balance beam, our second apparatus event of the day. As you see, Nina Derweil leading things off, the first of the 8 we will see on beam. And here she is, the 18-year-old from Belgium, top qualifier, who also won the uneven bars competition this week here in Doha as well.
Yeah, she has been on a roll on the uneven bars. This is to prove she's more than just a bar specialist. She won the 2018 World Championships for Belgium on uneven bars. Nice series right there. Great start with that round-off layout step out onto the beam. Side flip there, done very well. Every one of these leaps, they want to show a complete split in the air, just like that on that handstand. 180 degrees is what they're looking for. Very nicely done. That was a wolf turn, three times around. Many of the top gymnasts perform that. She'll now do another one because the value is so high. This one, 2 times around. May not look difficult, but all you got to do is hang out in a gym and watch a bunch of athletes do that for a while, and you see all kinds of different problems occur.
And not a lot of margin for error. A lot of things can go wrong.
Gainer layout back somersault with a full twist. Very solid routine. She's actually quite capable in the all-around as well.
And this is a venue that she has fond memories of. Became world champion here last year on the uneven bars. And the first Belgian gymnast to win gold at the European Championships the year before on the uneven bars as well.
Yeah, she is just breaking the mold for Team Belgium. You see how critical foot placement is. So once again, this is called a wolf turn. First time she did it were 3 complete revolutions. Some gymnasts do it slowly like this. Simone Biles, for example, she spins probably twice as fast. Laid out somersault with a full twist. Actually has quite a bit of hip angle as she's reaching for the floor, which will cost her a little bit.
And her score 13.633 to get things underway here on the women's balance beam. And Marine Boyer, like Derweil before her, 18 years of age, second qualifier here on the beam this week. And has improved this season on the World Cup, was 6th in Cottbus, but then 2nd last week in Baku.
Yeah, she's tremendous here. In 2016 Rio Olympic Games, she was 4th on balance beam. It can be a very hard thing to occur to an athlete. She says it was the most memorable thing that has ever happened to her, so good for her. A lot of the elements, they're trying to get what's called connection bonus, where they're going from one skill right to another without big hesitations. Great round off layout. And right there is an example of something she wanted to connect these 2 leaps together. She'll get a slight deduction and then she'll lose the connection bonus, but not disastrous by any stretch of the imagination. Very confident on beam. Works it authoritatively, and that's a really tricky combo. She just pulled off there. The swing of the arms, though, The judges see the body position and they deduct for just about everything if it's not perfect. Double pike, really nice.
And Tim, you mentioned the confidence. This seems like the one apparatus where if you have any kind of uncertainty with your confidence, it can really manifest itself in a very dangerous way.
Absolutely, it will rear its ginormous head if that happens, but she's so confident. Beautiful round off and a great body position throughout. She lands 2 feet at a time, which makes it far more difficult. And this was that tricky combination. The second and third elements, she swings that arm around, was able to hold on. Beautiful double pike somersault. Tell you what, this was a phenomenal routine, just that one major circle with her arms.
The European bronze medalist on the beam into second place with a score of 13.333. Here is Yumiko Nakamura of Japan, the 21-year-old. First time on the beam this World Cup season. 4th best qualifier from Osaka.
Back dive to a handstand here, very popular in the international circuit right now. Done very well. She also competed on the uneven bars at this World Cup and ended up 7th here in Doha. Her series, little bit off. You see that foot, she raises it up, kind of makes a swing with her arms. Very difficult. Oh, that's called a switch ring leap, and very difficult. A lot going on. Actually throws her head back at the end of it, so loses sight with the beam, which, why would you ever want to do that?
There's not a lot of beam to look at in the first place. You're right.
Another big balance check, and I'm sure she was planning on connecting it to that jump right there. So she's going to lose a lot in her maximum starting score, and she's also got some pretty blatant errors. Double tuck, very low landing. The gymnasts need to obviously stick, but also the judges are looking for them to land with their body completely upright, and she does not do that.
When you're going through a series of balance checks like she was, how difficult is it to mentally stay in the routine and then stick that dismount?
You know, it really depends on the athlete. There are some people that just crumble in that situation, and there are some that get tougher and meaner and are able to really deal with that quite well. Actually, on that switch ring, she really doesn't get the back leg up by her head very well at all.
There it is.
So probably a score that she may have anticipated, 11.8. And now on to Li Shi of China, 17 years of age, 3rd best qualifier, coming off a 5th place finish last week in Baku on the beam.
Well, her potential is just tremendous on the balance beam. She's just got to deliver. She was Junior Asian champion in 2017 on this event, as well as floor exercise. Beautiful combination. No hesitations at all. 3 skills done in a row, definitively. Big tumbling sequence. Wow. One of the nicest round-off layouts I've ever seen. A little bit slow in the connection, but I think she'll probably get it. Oh, boy. This is world class. This routine would look stunning at a World Championships final, even an Olympic Games final. It is so precise and exact with her movements, her positions. Tremendous. Now those are really tricky. 2 jumps facing sideways, done in combination. One of the best executed routines I have seen in a very long time. Double twist, little hop on the landing, but my, oh my, that was phenomenal.
Confident, definitive.
And your leader, absolutely. I don't have to wait for the judges on this. There was nothing to take off. Look at that, just a little bit maybe too slow in moving from one skill to another. Perfect position on that sheep jump. I tell you what, you just don't see a routine that is this flawless. Relatively easy dismount. They're allowed to do that now, though.
Well, as you anticipated, first place here for Li Shi, the 17-year-old from China.
And I'll tell you what, they gave her an 8.333 in execution, which is way too harsh relative to the gymnasts that we've seen already.
Suyoka Hanawa, the 16-year-old from Japan here. Boy, that routine we just saw, so good, Tim. But in your mind, how does it measure up to somebody like a Simone Biles? Give us a reference, a context to view it through.
Well, Simone Biles' routine is going to start a little bit higher, but the way that was executed, there are many a World Championships, many an Olympics where that would come out on top. Really difficult. Oh. Combination, back handspring step out. That was a back flip with a full twist. Looked great in the air. Was just not centered over the beam. And now you see some nerves coming into play, and on a simple leap and jump.
Kind of the opposite of what we just saw.
Absolutely. Boy, she fought on that halfway through. I thought she was coming off for sure. Of course, a fall is a full point deduction. Really nice beam worker, but you can't come off the beam in a final like this. 2.5 twist, hop backward on the landing.
Now the Tokyo native, first time on the beam in this World Cup season, qualifying 7th here in Doha. Coming off the beam early in the routine, and really not the performance she had hoped for.
And I don't know if you saw those bruises on the side of her legs, but here's that back full. Very difficult, especially when done from an acrobatic element in front of it. Right here, I thought she was off on this first one. You see her foot fumble a little bit with the beam, but somehow she maintains composure and is able to stay on there. 2.5 twists. She really is a very nice balance beam worker. But ouch, 5.966 execution. Over 4 points off.
And that'll take us to Aneta Kolesova of the Czech Republic, final athlete here on the beam, the 18-year-old. Qualified 8th after missing nearly a year of competition after damaging knee ligaments back in the summer of 2016. Had to take a lot of time away from the sport.
But she was actually here in this World Cup last year, qualified in 4th, but fumbled a little bit and had to settle for 8th. Very nice and strong start to this routine. She says her gymnastics idol is Olympic and world champion Shawn Johnson from the United States. Very difficult. You got to do some type of a turn like that, but when you do it with your foot all the way up by your head, much more challenging. Pretty clean routine so far. To a double pike, very nicely done. Big step on the landing, but overall, very strong routine.
This is her second final in Doha after her first final last year.
Now, second event final in Doha for the week, qualifying 8th here in the balance beam.
I would say she should move up on that. Very difficult mount, just a slight little balance check. But this was great. Two layout step outs in a row, preceded by a back handspring step out. And then big dismount, two back handsprings into a double pike, just the chest down too low. Her head is close to the floor. They want her upright, but
now she comes in shy of 13 and into 5th place, as that takes us to the final results, and it is the 17-year-old Li Shi of China with a terrific performance, the only one to exceed 14 points. She gets the victory here today, her first of the season in Doha, as the women finish off the beam. And up next, it's on to the men's parallel bars as we continue. The Gymnastics World Cup rolls on from Doha, but last week it was Simone Biles rolling into Stuttgart with her season debut. And Tim, she did not disappoint.
no, absolutely not. She, of course, won the competition. She wins all the time, and I mean all the time, because of power. Unbelievable. Makes it look so easy. Handful of gymnasts in the world that do this vault. That's 1.5 twists off the table. She actually debuted a double twist at the World Championships, and it now bears her name. Even if you're the greatest of all time, you can make little mistakes, but about 0.001 of the gymnastics community could have stayed on after that wolf turn. She was so dominant in Rio. Took 1.5 years off, trained a little bit, competed at the 2018 Worlds, and was even more dominant. Had mistakes and still destroyed the competition.
Tim, at what point did you first think that she was the greatest of all time?
You know, I would say, she won the all-around at the 2013 World Championships, but when we were looking at 2015, she was so dominant at that point and just was